Hey guys, how are you going and welcome back to Lockdown. How are you coping? This is our penultimate episode today and we're speaking to Eva. Now, Eva normally works as a holiday rep on one of the parks here across the UK. And then in winter she becomes like a nanny and does different jobs every year. It's really interesting talking to her and about how she can't actually go back to work, but how the kindness of her nursery has actually helped her do things and allow her to actually have an employment income, which is just wonderful compared to people like me who got fired and was just thrown under the bottom of someone's shoe, I suppose. It's keeping it light and lovely and all of that kind of stuff. But if you do enjoy this series, please make sure to give us a thumbs up, leave comments down below if any of this relates to you, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I will roll the interview. Yes, perfect. Perfect. So do you just want to tell me a bit about you, who you are, just kind of an overall, really, first of all, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah, so I live in Lincoln, which is in the East Midlands. I always say it's near Nottingham because people know where Nottingham is. And
I
they
actually know where it is.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
I've got friends and family from up there, so I kind of know the area.
Well, you're one of the first because everybody's like, "Where's Lincoln?" Nobody knows. But yeah, I am. Well, I would be working on the holiday parks as an entertainer.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's really fun. But obviously that's not at the moment because they're also mass gatherings, so you can't obviously
Of
work on holiday.
course, yeah.
And then we went into lockdown, so I'm just at home at the moment. I would be over the winter. I work in a nursery as well,
Oh,
obviously in lockdown too.
yeah. So you can't do nothing.
Yeah, so I'm just at home, but I'm getting on with like little projects at home, which I've always wanted to do. I've just never been able to, so it's quite nice, really.
That's
Um,
good, yeah.
always said it's quite nice to be at home, and it's quite nice to be able to have that time to do other things that you want to do, but you just never
Completely
do.
agree with you. Completely agree with you, yeah.
Yeah, but basically that's what I would be doing. I'd be working on holiday parks, doing entertainment. I like I go and sing at different places as well sometimes, classical
Oh,
crossovers.
cool.
But obviously that's closed as well, so
Yeah.
everywhere's closed at the moment.
So you're quite a
Everywhere.
creative, like, person overall, then.
Yeah, I think I describe myself as creative. Um, I really love like presenting to large crowds. I'm definitely one of those people that like to stand up and be in front of a large audience. um, just at the moment, um, just doing stuff behind the screen, really.
Yeah. So with the holiday parks and stuff, are you furloughed as such, or do they hire you like every year for like a season? How does it like has it affected you like with money and stuff, or do they still give you like some kind of something even though it doesn't exist, if that makes sense?
Well, because I'm not actually on it at the moment. I'm not furloughed by them. I'm furloughed by my winter job at the nursery.
Right.
So yeah, so I'm furloughed by them because I left at the end of the season. So I didn't actually join a holiday park before we went into lockdown because the season, like it starts March to October.
Yeah.
So I literally just not joined, and then we went into lockdown.
So you
So
can't even get anything for that. That's annoying.
yeah, it is. But when they open again, I'll be able to go back on to
Yeah,
them.
of course, of
Nobody
course.
knows when that is. So
Well, yeah, exactly. We just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I saw this article the other day about Haven potentially reopening with a lockdown plan.
yeah, I saw that. But I know they had it was a thing that they were going to open in July, I think.
Yeah, so they're planning for July, but basically there'll be no like clubs and none of the entertainment. The pools will be closed, so it'll be kind of social distance holidays.
Yeah. So basically, it's just like a centre parks, really.
Yes, you can't do much. You just kind of. I mean, I suppose it's still nice to get away, isn't it? Like if it's offered to me and someone said to me, "Let's go for it," I'd be tempted because I think after being at home for so long, like so I was in hospitality, so until I got fired, so you know all of that stuff.
Yeah, I watched one of your other interviews, and you said something about your restaurant job.
Yeah, so I was a restaurant manager. was with Pizza Express for a couple of years, and then I moved in December just because I wanted to change. This company hired me, seemed very nice and whatnot, and so Friday they said the pubs and bars would close.
Hmm.
Prior to that week, I was actually off really ill, and I think I had COVID. Obviously, I've not been tested, so I don't know if I had it or not, but I had all the symptoms. Like, it was clear that I believe I've had it. So I went back into work on the Saturday after kind of working out what the contingency plan was, like, are we doing takeaway and stuff, and got the "you're fired, bye."
Gosh, that's awful.
Yeah, it is, but you know what? I'm kind of glad because they weren't the nicest people to work for. And I'm so much better, and I feel better in
Mm.
myself and everything. So everything works out. So
You can put yourself somewhere higher or somewhere that's better suited for you.
well, exactly, yeah. And I've been doing so much creativity at home. Like, I'm hosting like a weekly quiz on my YouTube channel, which is getting like 50 people playing a week now. Should have about 60 people playing tonight. So I think like me doing that's kind of just I'm being creative again, and I'm doing what I love. So
That's a good idea. Yeah, I think this lockdown is sort of brought positivity for people as well because they're finding things to do at home that they haven't
mhm.
had to do before. And I think I watched an interview on this morning quite a while ago, and it was somebody talking about China's lockdown, I think, and she
Yeah,
said they miss, like the woman who was speaking, she said that they missed actually being in lockdown and have that free time. And
yeah.
I think there'll be some people in the UK, but
Yeah, I think
we
it's the same. Like, I actually applied for a job and I got offered a job yesterday, which is great. It's working for like a customer service to do with, I'm not sure what the details are yet, but it's home based all the time, like even after lockdown. So I'm a very social person, so I'm worried how it will work. But like,
yeah.
I've been enjoying YouTube so much that maybe I'll just love it because I can have more time to do my YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. You could do. Yeah. I think maybe it's good to try something different. I think this is definitely going to stay around for the year. I'm probably longer as well, but
No,
um,
I'm with you there. I think some people seem to think that, this whole new plan that they put out and the UK government about, restaurants being open by August and stuff, I think it's very optimistic.
yeah. That'd
So I think this year is kind of a write-off. You need to just focus on 2021.
be, I think I think it's optimistic. I mean that's a good thing, but you've got to be realistic as well.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a case of finding a new way to live for a year or so
yeah,
until.
exactly. Yeah. And apart from what you've said already, is there any other positives come out of this that you're actually enjoying?
Yeah, do you know what? I also said because I'm away on the holiday parks a lot of the time. The holiday park seasons are like 9, 10 months a year,
Mm-hmm.
from February till October, November.
Yeah,
So I'm at home, and I'm a family person as well, and it's quite nice to be at home with family. My sister's away living in Skipton, um, but it's quite nice because we've all been at home for 3 months now, I think.
yeah. I think it's like day 70 something today, maybe.
It
I'm
was,
not sure. I lost count.
yeah, I'm one of those people that don't know the day anymore either. No, that's quite nice because you're at home, you're with family, um, you get to. It's basically like being a child again at home. You just take each day as it comes. It's
Yeah.
also I had like before we went into lockdown, I had a massive stress about what job to do, where to go next, and because this has put a whole break on life, it's just completely wiped the whole nervous, oh, what am I doing next kind of thing. It's just wiped that away. So it's kind of a break from the real world as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah, oh, that's good. No, that's good that you've actually, realised that you got some time just to chill and take it
Yeah,
easy, really.
yeah. So I think I'm going to be one of those people that miss it as well, whenever
Yeah,
whenever reality commences.
yeah, of course. And on the other side of that, so are there any negatives apart from obviously not being able to do like the holiday job this year and stuff? Are there any other negatives that you've had or come across?
Um, oh, definitely not seeing friends is one. Like I think that's one for
Yeah,
everybody.
I think that's hard.
Not seeing,
Yeah.
I think. Um, and I'd say because I'm a sociable person as well. So
Hmm.
it's just the fact of going out and just doing things. I'm a person that likes going and sitting in coffee shops as well. So I miss the little things like
I'm the
that.
same. See, on my day off, I'll pop into like town, go into a nice
Yeah,
coffee shop, sit
maybe
there, like, yeah. that is one thing that I miss. And you know, even when they do reopen, so I've got some friends in Australia, and they recently reopened cafes. And a
Hmm.
lot of them now, what they're doing is obviously they're social distancing, but they're putting a minimum spend on tables as well, though,
Yeah.
because they've got, which I think that's a good thing, though, because although it's not, because I'm a person that'll go in for a coffee and sit down, but
Yeah.
from a business point of view, if I go in and sit down and spend an hour drinking my coffee, they could have had someone in there that had two like breakfasts or whatever, and they could have made more. So I think the UK might go that way as well and have to kind of be harsh. And I don't blame them for doing
Yeah.
it. Like I think it will need, but it just depends on how it reopens and what actually happens when it does, because we just don't know. Like,
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's going to be a whole new way of life. Nobody knows how this is going to work out. It's a completely new plan. It's never been done before. It's
yeah,
it's literally going to be like trial and error. Like
hmm
living
and there
live
will be errors.
a lot of errors. I'm a bit fearful of a second spike, like everyone else. Um,
Yeah. So some people seem to think that it's not going to happen, and I'm just like, so I live, I've got like a view of like this park, which is quite nice. But like last night, because obviously it was, I don't know where it was there, but I mean, we're not far away really. I'm in the West Midlands, you're in the East Midlands, so not too far. But it was beautiful weather last night. The
mm,
park must have had 100 people in it. They were sitting down there having barbecue, sunbathing, massive games of football going on, and I'm like, did I miss a daily briefing about the lockdown being lifted? Because honestly, I've never seen the park so busy in my whole entire life.
I know. I just don't get it. Like people just act like there's nothing. There's not a problem, do they? Um,
Yeah.
it is a thing that annoys me, and I'm sure it annoys everybody else. And I know there are people who are like, oh, you've got to live your life and things, but you've also got to be careful at the same time. And I'm
Well,
pretty
yeah.
sure I'm pretty sure there's other things you can do. I mean, other things you can do at home, like if you've got a garden, or just just social distance and just stick to the rules because
Yeah, be safe. It's not that hard to stick to the rules. You know, we can go outside as much as we want now. You can go and sit in a park all day. Just have that 2 meter gap just to protect yourself.
I think as long as they've got that gap, then it should be okay. But it's when people ignore the risks. Like
Hmm
I've people in the street just walking straight past me, and
Well,
don't
yeah,
want
I've got canals near me, so we often go for a walk down there in the evening and stuff. And they're not quite 2 meters wide, but people have the respect to when you are walking down, they'll go in single file and kind of as far on either side as you
yeah,
can to kind of, allow the rules as best as possible. But others just like walk down and you're just like, um, and there are some people I think that are so protective of it. Like, I think I'm more of one of the people that are less worried about catching it because I think, I mean, I don't know, but I think, as I said, I've already had it. So I'm just like, it can't be caught again by what they're saying. Obviously, we don't know that, but it could happen. But I feel I'm being a little bit easier. But there are people that are proper like freaking out like about it and don't want to leave their houses. So when they do, they should have the respect to just have the space.
yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, luckily around here, when I've been walking in the streets and people are doing the social distance and they're crossing the street all the time. They are, if there's a narrow gap, then you'll walk around it or wait for someone to come through. Um, I'm constantly like crisscrossing the roads.
Oh,
These
yes, yes.
Yeah, I think that's a relatable thing at the moment, just zigzagging across the road. But yeah, people are adhering to it here, so
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I think it's most people are. I think it's just a small minority that are not. So
mm, yeah. I mean, there are that as I say, there have been the times when I've been cross path with someone who's just walked straight in front of me, or something like that, and
yeah,
you can't control everyone.
no, you really can't. You can't. So is there? Well, I know we talked about a few things already, but is there anything you really miss from the outside world, like something that you want but you can't have, like something you haven't said already?
I also love to just travel. I love to just travel like to different places and go
Yes.
on the week. Or so I just miss going on the train and going to Nottingham for a day out, or definitely to London. I miss London. I've not
hmm
been since I don't know, like quite a few months. So
Yeah.
yeah, going out on the train and going to somewhere. I'd go shopping in Nottingham with my friend or something, and can't do that at the moment. So
Yeah, just those simple little things that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just that really. I know you can go to like beaches and now as long as you're social distance, so that would have to be a
Yeah,
replacement instead. Maybe
yeah. I mean, I'm not sure the beach would be the best idea, like in terms
no,
of, I just
no.
can't see it working on a social distancing level.
Yeah, that's the thing because I like obviously I would love to go to the beach actually. I'm gonna contradict myself here actually because as I say I would love to go to the beach, but I also would not love to go to the beach because can't I suppose everybody's going to go and it's really nice weather here as well. And yeah, I think social distancing is going to be hard. Also, there are going to be little children there, and you can't control little children,
No,
unfortunately.
you can't. You
No,
really can't. And this is why I'm very confused about the schools and them sending back the youngest children first. But that's a whole nother conversation.
yeah, no, I don't see how you're going to control little children because they don't understand it as well. So
No,
I think it's quite sad, really, because they don't understand why they can't go to school or see their friends. So it's a bit sad for little children, but at least they get to be home with their families. And when the time comes for schools and things opening, just pray
fingers
that
crossed. Yeah,
they.
exactly. And if you've seen some of my other interviews, you know I'm going to probably ask this, but what's the weirdest thing you've ever done if you've thought about this or haven't thought about this?
In general, or with the lockdown?
With the lockdown, so something that you've done that's quite weird or unusual that you wouldn't normally do, I suppose.
Hmm. Well, it's not really something that I wouldn't normally do, but my sleeping patterns are messed up completely. Like I at the moment I go to bed at like 3 o'clock in the morning and get up at 11. Sometimes I go to bed at 3 and I get up at 1. Sometimes I go to bed at 3 and I get up at 7.
Yeah,
So my sleeping pattern's completely messed up. I mean, from working on holiday parks, I'd go to bed quite late anyway because you do an entertainment. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I know it's not really a weird thing, probably not that relatable, but for me, it's a bit bizarre because I just don't really have a way of life at the moment.
yeah.
It's just like hibernating.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think for me as well, like because obviously, being from the restaurant industry, I'm used to going to bed late and waking up. But I'm kind of going to bed late now still because I'm used to that and I'm waking up really early, like, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock some days and just having really long days. So I think we're
yeah,
all kind of adapting differently. But yeah, I think sleep for a lot of people is just kind of it's not a real thing, is it? You just do it when you have to do it now rather than when you should do it to get
yeah,
up for that job in the morning.
yeah. I mean, I'm quite a light sleeper anyway, so it's messed up that even up like even more. I think it's
Yeah,
people aren't exercising or going out as much as well, or just having their normal routine. So it's completely messed the body clock up.
yeah. No, I'm there. Like I used to have a routine and my routine now is do what the hell you like whenever you like.
And stay home for it. Probably, yeah. Who knows?
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
no, I know that there are some people who really like sleeping and they can sleep easily and they're finding it really easy to sleep at the moment. But then there are some people who aren't, and I would definitely fall into that category.
Yeah, me too. And once this is all over, we're back to normal. What's the first thing that you're going to do? So this is obviously once everything's back to normal. So you can fly abroad, you can, do this, you can do anything that you could before.
Well, one thing I would obviously go back to my holiday park job. That would be one of the things I'd
Yep.
do. I've said to my mum, this has made me want to go travelling or go somewhere, as I'm sure it has with other people.
Hmm.
So I would probably say, do you want to just go to Ireland or something, or go to somewhere in Europe, go to somewhere
Yeah.
abroad. Because it makes people realize as well that life is actually short, so just make the most of everything. And I think that's one of the ways to celebrate being free.
Yeah.
Go travel somewhere, even if it's in the UK.
Yeah,
um,
exactly.
Go on a holiday somewhere, obviously when it's safe to do so,
Yes.
when everything's back to normal. But I think that's a hard thing to say as well because nobody knows. I don't think things are going to be back to normal at the same time.
No, there's going to be no. I don't think there will be the old
No,
anymore.
I think it's going to be that stereotypical there's a new normal, as they say in the media and the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, but that would be what I'd do first when everything's okay.
Yeah.
Go
Have
so.
you done much traveling prior? Have you done much traveling before? Like, or
Well, I've not actually. I would love to go, like backpacking or traveling, but obviously I know it's a bit of a danger. But at the same time, it's adventurous, and I think as it has with other people, it's given me more of an adventurous side. So I in the past I've not been backpacking, but I've been on like family holidays. We've been
yeah,
to like well, I didn't go to Dubai, but my family have. We've been to Cuba, Cape Verde, Marbella, all the really nice places.
yeah. Oh my God, though, Cape Verde. Wow. Like, I've been to Cape Verde. What a
It,
country! Like,
it's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. I think one of my favourite places. I think I really enjoyed Cuba. To be fair, Cuba
oh, really?
and yeah, and the simple Tenerife. I liked Tenerife. It was our first abroad holiday of those places, of the exotic places. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm definitely one for hot weather. So
Yeah, I'm the same. I love hot weather, but I think like I've never gone backpacking either because hostels. What's a hostel? No, thank you. I want
I'm
I,
hostel. I'm a hotel.
I want a hotel or an Airbnb, something boutique,
Yeah,
something.
somewhere nice. Uh,
Saying that, like, have you watched Race Across the World?
no, I'm not actually.
It's such a good show. It's on BBC iPlayer actually, and basically
Okay.
6 teams just travel from one side of the world to the other on foot, and it's just the most amazing show. Like,
But,
and watching that has made me want to apply for the show and just go traveling. Like they
mm,
do proper backpacking, like sleeping on buses for 18 hours. That kind of it's like proper hardcore.
that would be lovely. I think yeah, and also actually, I will say that this lockdown's also made me realise, like, because I'm 23,
Mm,
you know, being in your young 20s is a time to go traveling really. So it's
definitely. Yeah.
like to do when we're allowed.
Yeah, I'm too old for it now.
Well, you can. Why not? You've
Yeah.
only lived.
Oh, exactly, exactly. And is there, I suppose, one last question, then we'll kind of just see how it goes. What's the one thing you'll miss from lockdown, if there is anything?
Um, I think it's like the whole staying at home this much and being at home in the moment. That's also something that is like made me stop doing like thinking about the future. It's made me think literally in the moment. So I think I'll miss just living here and now, just focusing on the day rather than thinking about the plan next week or thinking about what you're going to do next.
I love that answer. That's so good. Yeah.
I think it's just being completely stress free, living in the moment, living in the day, living with your family at this moment in time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not obviously for other people, they might be on their own or not living with family, but they'd be able to relate to the living in the moment, thinking of this day, and that's all.
Yeah. No, I really like that. It's really
Mm.
a nice way to think about it. Yeah.
So that's what I'd miss.
Mm.
Um, Apart from that, I'd be like, let's get back to life.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it.
Mm.
Uh, perfect. You do YouTube as well. You've started doing YouTube, have you as well during this, or have you done it? I've looked at
Kind
your channel a little bit, but not in too much detail.
Well, kind of, because I'd like to do like more YouTube, but I like because of not being on the holiday parks and not doing entertainment, I've wanted to get my like show reel and my like music covers up a bit more. So I've kind of just been starting to use YouTube for that. So I've got two different YouTubes. I've got my main one, which I've had for ages, which is probably the one that you've seen, which is Eva Sophia, and then I've just set up my other one, which is Eva MacDonald, my full name. But that's because I've got two different styles that I do. So I've kept that
Okay.
just like Disney music covers and my entertainment show reel. And then I've created another one for classical crossover singing, which I do as well. So those are I mean, I'd love to do YouTube like properly and do actual videos, which I will get around to doing at some point. I've been really busy doing different things every day. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's kind of my YouTube at the moment. I'd love to grow it, and I will do at some point when I have the time to get around to it.
Yeah. I think growing it is the hardest. Like
Mm.
at the beginning it really is the hardest.
Yeah, because yeah, I mean there'll be even more competition now, wouldn't there, to go because I suppose there's a lot of
You
people.
know, I've met like us speaking to people like via this and just like through groups and stuff, I've met at least 50 people that have started it in lockdown.
Well,
And
it's
I
one of
mean,
the. Yeah.
yeah, like I've been doing it for years. Like I started 4 years ago,
Mhm.
but it was like on and off, never actually consistent. And this lockdown really got me going. Right, let's do this full time. Let's make a career out of it. But actually, like I'd love to, but it's going to take years to do that. Like you can't just do it overnight. Some people have this vision that, oh, I'll make one video and I'll become famous. So it's really not that.
Dream. I'd love that. I would love to do YouTube. I'd love to do YouTube videos. I can see myself doing that. But as you say, there's like so much time and so much work to go into it. I mean, you get these YouTubers who do it straight away and they kick off with a few videos or they
Mhm.
kick off. But I think that's because they've been doing things in advance.
Yeah,
So they've had that following from beforehand. But if you're starting YouTube fresh, then it's definitely going to take you like a couple of years to get it going.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I would love to do YouTube properly, and I would love to. I am going to do some videos, but as everyone else, it'll take a while.
yeah.
hmm But we'll get there at some point.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today and just kind of giving your insight to lockdown, how you're coping, what you're liking, what you're not liking, all that kind of stuff.
That's okay. That's okay. Yeah, I just say to everyone just to stay safe and to just keep social distancing. Don't do things for granted or take easy measures for granted.
Yep, no, I completely agree with that. I completely agree with that.
But yeah, thank you very much for having me as well.
No, thank you. And yeah, stay safe in the rest of this and whatnot. And yeah, take care. And hopefully we get out this. Hopefully you're back at a park soon, entertaining people as you do.
Yes, that would be a dream. I cannot wait for that day. Whenever it is, I'm going to go a bit crazy on stage, I think. Be like, "Wow."
Yeah, I think that's an industry though that is like so many people. So I think it will just be a okay,
Mm,
let's go for this. And like I think it'll be the best season ever because like not that people get slack over years, but people just it's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And then everyone's gonna have this fresh kind of burst of like energy in them, like let's
mhm.
do this.
Yeah, so it's going to be absolutely mental. I think it's going to be packed as well because I think they're going to be more popular than going abroad for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
I think some people just won't. They'll want to stay here to be safer.
yeah, so good old British holidays.
Exactly. Bring them back.
Yeah, so when that day comes, that'll be a very celebratory event, I think.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And yep, stay safe in the rest of this.
I will do. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye. Well, that was it. That was Eva's interview. I really hope you enjoyed it. I love talking to her, and we actually went off camera after and had a very in-depth chat, which is always nice to do because people are people, and I've actually made some amazing connections doing this. Eva's one of those, and I think I will stay in contact with her hopefully after this and everything like that. But if you did enjoy me talking to her, speaking about mine and her and all the kind of things in the middle, please make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave comments down below, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I'll see you tomorrow at 7 o'clock for our final interview. Bye guys!